Ladies and gentlemen, Trump says he's not ready for a deal with China regarding the trading, and he dismisses recession fears, although that's been like the buzzword of the last few weeks. Recession, recession. So this came out in Reuters August 19th, 2019. Donald Trump and top White House officials dismiss concerns that economic growth may be faltering, saying on Sunday they saw little risk of recession despite a volatile week on global bond markets, and insisting their trade war with China was doing no damage to the United States. Yeah, although it was proof that his trade war was causing a deficit. It was not making the money for the U.S. It was causing a deficit. But see, this is what happens when you put a businessman that has failed at everything as your president. So you're going to have to deal with the fallout behind that. This is what Trump said. We're doing tremendously well. Our consumers are rich. I have a tremendous tax cut, and they're loaded up with money, Trump said on Sunday. You know, Trump got a college education, y'all. Why does he still sound like he didn't get past the fifth grade? I'm just saying. It sounds like somebody bought an education for him instead of him getting an education. But he was less optimistic than his aides on striking a deal with China, and saying that while he believed China was ready to come to an agreement, I'm not ready to make a deal yet. I bet you China has a whole different story. He hinted that the White House would like to see Beijing resolve ongoing protests in Hong Kong first. There are millions of people out there protesting in Hong Kong. I don't know if you've seen the protest out there. You know, people are really revolting over there. Okay. I would like to see Hong Kong worked out in a very humanitarian fashion, Trump said. I think it would be very good for the trade deal. The White House economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, said trade deputies from the two countries would speak within 10 days, and if those deputies' meetings pan out, we are planning to have China come to the U.S. to advance negotiations over ending a trade battle that has emerged as a potential risk to global economic growth. Well, I thought the trade war was having minimal impact. How do we go from never mind? Never mind. Never mind. This is the usual stuff we see. Even with the talk stalled for now and the threat of greater tariffs and other trade restrictions hanging over the world economy, Kudlow said on Fox News Sunday, the United States remained in pretty good shape. There is no recession in sight, Kudlow said. That's not what the experts are all saying. Consumers are working, their wages are rising, they are spending, and they are saving. Their comments follow a week in which concerns about a possible U.S. recession weigh on financial markets and seems to put administration officials on edge about whether the economy would hold up through the 2020 presidential election campaign. Democrats on Sunday argued Trump's trade policies were posing an acute short-term risk. U.S. stock markets tanked last week on recession fears, with all three major U.S. indexes closing down about 3% on Wednesday. paring their losses by Friday due to the expectation the European Central Bank might cut rates. The U.S. Federal Reserve and 19 other central banks have already loosened monetary policy in what Fitch Ratings last week described as the largest shift since the 2009 recession. Markets are expecting more cuts to come. For a brief time last week, bond investors demanded a higher rate on 2-year Treasury bonds than for 10-year Treasury bonds, a potential signal of lost faith in near-term economic growth. White House trade advisor Peter Navarro on Sunday dismissed the idea that last week's market volatility was a warning sign, saying good economic dynamics were encouraging investors to move money to the United States. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think back on that recession that hit during George W. Bush when he was the president. And remember, he did the same thing. He kept denying there was a recession and denying there was a recession, and he kept doing it over and over, and then come to find out it was a recession. Everybody knew because you felt it. You felt things had changed. But he did the same thing. Every time the recession question came up, he denied everything. And I'm seeing Trump following that same pattern. I just see the same pattern here. You know, he did the same thing. His advisors came out, said there was no recession. George Bush said there was no recession. And then lo and behold, there was a recession. But he denied it. In fact, I remember on the news, they said they had a problem with it because he wouldn't even say the word recession, and he didn't. Every time he got in front of the camera, he would not use the word recession at all. And Trump is doing the very same thing. He got all of his advisors out here denying everything and denying everything. Ladies and gentlemen, you will find out there is a recession. You ain't going to find out through the president. The reason why it got called out under George W. Bush is because it came out in the media. It came out through the financial markets and Wall Street. But it did not come directly from the president. Always remember that. This president is never going to say we're in a recession when we're actually in one. You can see that already. He's following that same path as George W. Bush. Okay. So for bond markets, the sort of movement Navarro described is often driven by trouble. In this case, the possibility that the trade battle with China is lasting far longer than expected and becoming disruptive to business investment and growth. The U.S. economy does continue to grow and add jobs each month. Retail sales in July jumped stronger than expected, 0.7%. The government reported last week, and Kudlow said the numbers showed that the main prop of the U.S. economy was intact. You know, all of these people are going to go into hiding when it comes out we're in a recession. Every last one of these people running their mouth, they going to disappear. They are all going to disappear, y'all. Trump's trade war has not helped the U.S. economy, y'all. It has caused a deficit. I did a video on that a while back. And they said we lost a lot of money. We did not gain money when he was on that trade war back in 2018. So it caused a lot of problems. People lost jobs. Companies switched from the U.S. to China. It absolutely did not help anything. But please tell me what you think of this latest claim of, dismissing recession fears, but all the signs are there. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.